If you're married and watching this, I hope you're living your happily ever after. But if that's not the case, stay with me, because today we're going to discuss an essential topic: what to do if you're unhappy in your marriage. Let me start by sharing a principle that I deeply believe in. Life is about finding and achieving happiness. Everything we do in life is driven by this one desire: to be happy. But when we find ourselves unhappy, it often stems from a lack of knowledge or understanding. You see, from the moment we are born, we are conditioned by the world around us. We are taught things, we observe behaviors, and we accept many beliefs as truths without ever questioning them. Over time, these beliefs become habits, shaping our subconscious and driving our actions, all without us consciously realizing it. And here lies the problem. We operate on autopilot, guided by beliefs that may not even be true. Now let's dive into this idea of emotional states. When we experience emotions, we tend to classify them as positive or negative, good or bad, happy or sad. When we feel negative emotions, our subconscious mind perceives this as a threat to our well-being and works to change that state. Through trial and error, we develop habits that seem to provide relief. If something works in the short term, we repeat it over and over until it becomes second nature. But here's the catch. Many of these habits only provide temporary solutions, not lasting happiness. Take, for example, the use of substances like drugs or alcohol. When someone is unhappy, they might turn to these substances believing they've found a solution. And yes, it might change their emotional state temporarily. But eventually, these solutions create more problems. It becomes evident that the happiness they felt was never real. It was a fleeting distraction. So, what's the real truth? Happiness is a choice. It is not determined by our circumstances. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, demonstrated this principle beautifully. Despite the horrors of living in a concentration camp, he observed that people experienced the same situation differently. Some responded with love and hope, while others succumbed to anger or despair. The key takeaway? We get to choose how we respond to life's circumstances. Now, let's connect this to marriage. Why do we get married in the first place? Think back to your own experience. Were you happy when you were single? Or did you believe that getting married would make you happy? If you were unhappy before marriage, expecting marriage to fix that is a false belief. Happiness doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from within. Here's the hard truth. If you were unhappy as a single person, it's not because you were single. It's because of your thoughts. And if those thoughts haven't changed, they will follow you into your marriage. You see, our thoughts create our emotions. If we choose thoughts that lead to unhappiness, we have to take accountability for that. Now, this might be difficult to hear, but sometimes we cling to our unhappiness because it serves a purpose. It allows us to shift responsibility to others. We blame our spouse, our finances, our circumstances. And while that might feel easier in the moment, it also means we're giving away our power to change. So, what can we do? The first step is to take full accountability for your happiness. Recognize that you have the power to choose your emotions. When you feel unhappy, ask yourself why. What beliefs are driving those feelings? And most importantly, are those beliefs true? Challenge them. Next, shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong in your marriage, look for what's good. Express gratitude for the things your spouse does well, the joys in your life, and the moments that bring you peace. The more you focus on the positive, the more you'll see it. And as you do this, something incredible happens. Your relationship begins to transform. What once felt like a source of unhappiness becomes a space of love, connection, and fulfillment. You realize that happiness wasn't hiding in your spouse or your circumstances. It was within you all along. I've long felt that the greatest factor in a happy marriage is an anxious concern for the comfort and well-being of one's companion. In most cases, selfishness is the leading factor that causes arguments, separation, divorce, and broken hearts. Brethren, the Lord expects something better of us. He expects something better than is to be found in the world. Never forget that it was you who selected your companion. It was you who felt there was no one else in all the world quite like her. It was you who wished to have her forever. But in too many cases, the image of the temple experience fades. A lustful desire may be the cause. Fault-finding places praise. When we look for the worst in anyone, we will find it. But if we will concentrate on the best, that element will grow until it sparkles. Be loyal to your companion. May your marriage be blessed with an uncompromising loyalty one to another. Find your happiness with one another. Give your companion the opportunity to grow in her own interests, to develop her own talents, to fly in her own way, and to experience her own sense of accomplishment. So I encourage you, take that first step today. Choose to stop the cycle of unhappiness. Choose to see the good. Choose to be grateful. And most importantly, choose happiness. Thank you for listening. If this message resonated with you, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others. Let's spread the message that happiness is within our reach, one choice at a time.